Today, we're going to be talking about 4 things: your resume and why it is not attracting the attention of hiring managers and recruiters. If you have a resume and you're applying to jobs and you are not getting interviews, it is because hiring managers do not see what they want to see when they look at your resume. I'm going to tell you how to fix that. The second thing I'm going to talk to you about is how to find and apply to hundreds of jobs in seconds. It increases your chances for getting job interviews, right? If you're applying to 5 interviews a week, it's going to take you 5 years to find a job. And that's because you don't know what's going on in the apply environment today. I'm going to tell you what's going on. I'm going to tell you how to search for a job. Literally hundreds of jobs you can apply to in minutes that match what you do. The third thing I'm going to talk to you about is job interviewing. I'm going to tell you the 6 to 8 questions every hiring manager will ask you and how you should answer those questions. And more importantly, I'm going to tell you why they ask you those questions. I'm going to tell you what the job interview is about, and I'm definitely going to tell you what the job interview is not about, so you don't blow it in your next interview and you get an offer. And finally, I'm going to tell you how to get $2,000 to $10,000 more from every single written job offer you get. A hiring manager will tell you yes when you send one simple email. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. Okay, so you get $2,000 to $10,000 more. Just so you know, Daniel's my name. Been in talent acquisition and recruiting for more than 35 years at every imaginable level, from COO, Chief Operations Officer of a staffing agency, to VP of Talent Acquisition Director, National Recruiting Manager, Recruiter, Senior Recruiter, you name it. Every aspect of recruiting and supporting hiring managers I have done. So I have been the person who represents you when you apply for a job and you are about to see a hiring manager. I am the one that hears them say, nope, I don't want to talk to this person, and I know the reasons why. And it used to really, really upset me that I would talk to a perfectly qualified candidate and a hiring manager would tell me no. I didn't like it, right? Because they were not giving you an opportunity. Well, guess what? That's happening today. You submit your resume for a job and no one calls you back. You submit your resume for a job, you know you can do the job. You have the experience doing the job. You are good at doing that job. And a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, you get a rejection notice that says, we decided to go with someone else. And you never even talk to anybody. You don't even know why that happened. I'm going to tell you why it happened. It happened because when you submitted your application and we looked at your resume, we did not see what we wanted to see. Okay? And so the hiring manager felt like if they contacted you, it would be a waste of their time. So they're not going to contact you. They don't reach out to you. And no one calls you back and tells you, okay, I see you have this experience, but your resume is not positioned correctly. Can you change that? Is that fair? I mean, it's what they're doing. Should they do it? Probably not. Is it going to stop if you don't change your resume? No, it is not. Same thing is going to keep on happening. Okay? And so I'm going to tell you what hiring managers are looking for so you can fix your resume. And I'm going to tell you how to get more job interviews faster. Bottom line is, if you can get a lot more interviews, right, you get an opportunity to get a lot more job offers. And if you get a lot more job offers, you are in 100% complete control of your own career, right? That's what it's all about. Stop putting your career in the hands of other individuals. You need to be the one who can make the choice for your own career. Don't take what you have to take. Learn through the hiring process to take what it is that you want and what belongs to you. There are 4 parts of the hiring process, from looking for a job all the way to getting a high-paying job offer. And not many people are going to tell you this. Now, you may hear this on separate platforms, separate people saying certain things. And there are some things that I'm going to tell you today about your resume, job searching, about interviewing, and about how to get high paying offers guaranteed. There's some things we're going to tell you you've never heard ever in your life, right? Because nobody else says it, right? So I'm going to tell you that. All right. So our goal today is to try to get to 100,000 likes. All I ask people to do is tap the screen. First goal is 5,000 likes. So tap the screen and we're going to start talking about resumes right now. So you need to get a job, right? I want you to have a job. I do not want you to be limited in your career. I want you to have success, right? But you need to get a job. How are you going to do that? You currently working for a job you don't like. In fact, I talked to a lady today. She hates where she works, right? Her and her manager, they do not get along. It is miserable for her going to work every single day. You shouldn't have to live your life like that, right? Let's say you don't have a job, right? Maybe you were laid off or reduction in force or there was a merger and acquisition and you got caught in a rift, or you work for the government and the government is shut down and you're not getting paid and they don't care about you not being able to pay your bills, right? The electricity company don't care. You part of a government shutdown, you're not getting paid. They're going to turn your lights off, right? So you need to get a high paying job. You need to be able to secure those positions. Here's another reason why I do it. If anybody treats you crazy in the company that you work for, I want to equip you with the information that you can walk away anytime you want and you can find employment quickly, right? If you do exactly what I'm telling you to do, what I'm going to show you to do, you'll be able to find and land a high paying job with a high offer within the next 30 days. I'm gonna explain it to you. Believe me, trust me, I'm gonna tell you. Here's the deal. Grab a pen and a piece of paper. You are going to need to write some of this information down. In the next 60 minutes, I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know. And we're gonna start off with resumes, okay? So make sure you tap the screen. We got 72 people in the room. If every single one of us tap the screen 60 times, we'll be up to almost 10,000 likes. So tap the screen 60 times. Just count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 60 times takes you about 15 seconds, all right? So resumes. What is a resume? What is it all about? What is it not? What should it be? What should you put on it? What should you leave off of it, right? Your resume, right? Most people think their resume is a historic, chronological document that shows their skill, experience, education, and background. What they hope is a hiring manager will look at that resume, read through the entire resume the way you put it together, and that they will understand what you are trying to communicate about what you've done. They don't do that. Okay? That's not how we look at resumes. Your resume, yes, it is a historical document of your work history, but we are looking for something very specific. And if we don't see it, we think that we're going to waste our time, and we don't have time to waste from a hiring manager and recruiter perspective. You do the exact same thing when you are looking for a job. Okay, I know this because as a senior talent acquisition and recruiting leader, my number one job is to attract the attention of candidates, applicants to my jobs, right? That's my job, right? So there's 4 things I know that you want to know before you apply to my job or any recruiter job. Any job for any company, anywhere, there's 4 things you want to know, right? And I make sure whenever I create a job description or post a position, those 4 things are present. They answer questions in your mind before you even ask me. You see it, right? And you do that because you don't want to waste your time. Okay? What are those 4 things? Number 1, you want to know what is this job doing? You see a job posting, you ask yourself the question, I see the job title, what does this job do? Okay. Now, once you learn what the job does, the second thing you want to know is, where is this job located? Now, this is even before you apply. Okay. Where is this job located? Because if this job is 3 hours from my house, I don't care what the job is doing. I don't care what it's paying. I'm not interested. Okay. The third thing that you want to know is, what does this job pay? I see it's close to where I live. I see it's doing what I know how to do, but I'm not going to accept this job. I'm not going to even apply to this job if it is not worth my time from a pay perspective. Okay. And the last thing is, you say, okay, I see what it's doing. I see where it's located. I see what it's paying. What are my chances of getting an interview and getting hired if I apply for this job? And that speaks to, how long has the job been open and how many openings are there for this particular job? See, those are the questions you want answered from a hiring manager and a recruiter before you apply to a job. Every candidate wants to know that, because you don't want to waste your time. Well, hiring managers feel the exact same way. When they pick up a resume, there are 3 specific things they want to see the moment they pick the resume up. And if they don't see it, they're not going to call you, because they think they're wasting their time. So if you are submitting your resume or doing an application and submitting your resume and you are not getting interviews, I can tell you that there's probably something wrong with your resume. I will tell you if it's something wrong. If you email me, daniel@dscds.com, I'll review your resume for free and tell you what's missing, what's broken, and what needs to be fixed. I'll tell you exactly what to do, right? So if you email me a copy of your resume, and I can only take 100 people. So the first 100 people who send me an email and say, please review my resume, I'll be more than happy to take a look at that. Now I'm watching my clock over here because I want to see if you send me your resume. I'll be more than happy to take care of it today. Okay. First 100 people, email me a copy of your resume, daniel@dscds.com, and I'll be more than happy to review your resume for free. So what 3 things does every hiring manager want to know about you before they call you, before they want to talk to you? What 3 things do they want to know? I'm going to tell you, I call it my elevator pitch, and I'm going to tell you how I know. You see, for many years, and I started changing things around 22, 23 years ago. When I would I would talk to you, have a conversation with you about the job. You would tell me all of the amazing things you've done previously, and I would say, wow, you are an exact match for what this hiring manager is looking for. We had 3,800 likes. We need to get to 5,000. Please go ahead and continue to hit the screen. And I see you guys are sending me your resume. I can take 100 people emailing me their resume today, and I'll do a free review. I will do it. Okay. So hiring managers, what they want to see. Okay. They want to see 3 things the moment they pick your resume up. Now listen to me. If they do not see it, they are thinking you are not worth their time. They don't want to call you because they don't want to waste their time. How do I know this? Years ago, I used to interview you. I would have the resume you submitted. I would look through your resume with you, and you would show me on your resume how you've done the work and how it relates to the job description that I have. And I would get excited and say, okay, great. I am going to submit your information to the hiring manager to get you scheduled for an interview. And I would submit your resume the way you sent it to me. And hiring managers would tell me, I don't want to talk to them. And it used to really, really upset me. I did not like it. Now, here I am talking to a perfectly qualified person, and this hiring manager is telling me to my face, no, I don't want to talk to that person. They were throwing you in the trash without even giving you a chance. I didn't like it. So a director made a suggestion to me. He said, why don't you just do a survey? Because I was frustrated, visibly, physically frustrated. And this director said, why don't you do a survey? Just send an email out and ask the hiring managers what they're looking for and why they are rejecting the candidates that you are submitting. Because only 1 to 2 out of every 10 candidates that I interviewed was actually getting a hiring manager interview. That's horrible. Okay? When I started doing what I'm about to tell you to do right now, 8 out of 10 candidates that I pre-screen, they get interviews with the hiring manager. I went from 1 to 2 out of every 10 getting an interview to 8 out of 10 getting an interview. Because after the survey, I found out what the hiring manager wanted to see. So this is what I started doing without telling them. See, they told me what they wanted to see. So I would interview you just like normal. I would look at your resume, and then I would see that your resume did not show the hiring manager what they wanted to see. So I would say to you, okay, I know what this hiring manager wants to see, so I am going to rework your resume for you. Is that okay? You would say yes. I said, before I send it to the hiring manager, I'm going to send it to you. I want you to look at it so you know what it looks like. Okay? And you would say, fine. So I would rework your resume, send it back to you. You would say, yes, it looks great. I would submit it to the hiring manager and you would get an interview. Okay? Before that, before I started doing that, 22, 23 years ago, only 1 to 2 of the candidates that I was actually submitting was getting interviews. They were getting interviews. Now, 8 out of every 10 people that I submit for a job, 8 out of 10 get an interview. 80%. 80%. Why? I realized it had nothing to do with whether you could do the job or not. That didn't have anything to do with it. Right? It had everything to do with, does the hiring manager see what they want to see when they look at your resume? You guys are doing great. We're at 5,000. Keep tapping the screen. We have 100 people in the room. If every single one of us tap the screen 60 times in 15 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. If you do that for 15 seconds, we'll be at 10,000 likes. Why do we want likes? Because it spreads it out throughout the platform and lets them know that we're live helping people fix their resume and get jobs. That's all, right? The more people watch, the more people we can help. That's all I care about. All right, so if you want a free review of your resume, email me now, daniel@dscds.com. It's right here. Email it. I will tell you what's missing, what you need to add, what you need to change, what needs to be fixed, if anything needs to be fixed. And then we can go from there. All right, so the hiring manager wants to see 3 things. Write this down, please. There are 3 things they want to see the moment they pick up your resume. Okay? They want to see, what does this person do? Professionally, what do you do? Okay? The second thing they want to know is, how long have you done it? Now, there's a reason why they want to know that. Every candidate that submits their application for a job falls into 1 of 3 categories: entry level, mid-level, or senior level. We know entry-level individuals we will need to train, okay? So you'll need to be trained. You can't just be given the job and we expect that it's going to be done. If you are a mid-level professional, you will need little training, some training, but very little training. In other words, you've done the job long enough that you can come in and start doing some work, but there may need to be some tweaks. That's 5 to 9 years if you've been working in the field, doing the job. If you have 10 or more years experience, we consider you to be a senior level professional. And that means we could give you the whole job and you could do it without any training. We know that. Okay. So we put candidates in those 3 categories, which is why we need to know how long you've been doing what you're doing. The final thing they want to know, which so many people don't understand, is quantifiable evidence, proof of how good you are at doing what you're doing. Okay, numbers, percentages, how much you've generated in sales, how much you've saved in terms of revenue, what percentage of this, what percentage of that. They want to know that. Why? Because they already know they need someone to do X, right? And if you have been working for 25 years and all 25 years has been for a mom and pop shop, and now you are working for a national or global company, you don't have the expertise with respect to the volume. This just happened 2 weeks ago with a guy who is a data center facility manager. Okay? The facility size that he had been managing, he had 2 interviews with 2 very large companies. The facility size that he had been managing was 40,000 square feet. The 2 jobs that he interviewed for, one of the facilities had 800,000 square feet. The other one had 1.2 million square feet of space. And he couldn't understand why he didn't get the job. I say you didn't get the job because the hiring manager did not think you could go from managing 40,000 to 1.2 million or 40,000 to 800,000 square feet. Big difference. So we want to know quantifiable evidence, proof of your ability to do a job, which is the value you bring to the table. Okay, you guys are doing great. We're at 10,008. Let's get to 15,000. We have 123 people in the room. Let's take 15 seconds and tap the screen 60 times real quick. All right. So quantifiable evidence. So here's what my captivating headline says. Here's what a hiring manager sees about me the moment they pick up my resume. And here's what they need to know about you from your perspective. So what I do, I'm a senior talent acquisition and recruiting leader with 35 years experience, hiring 4,000 to 6,000 people for medium to large companies in the US every year. That's what they know about me the moment they pick up my resume. That's what they see. So when they see that, they say, okay, the questions that I have in my mind about this person's expertise, those questions have been answered. Now I want to schedule a time to talk to this person further about their expertise in terms of a pre-screen. Okay, that's what they look for the moment they look at your resume. In the same way that you have 4 questions that you want answered as a candidate before you apply to a job because you want to make sure you're not wasting your time. Okay, hiring managers do the exact same thing, and they don't tell you this. If you get rejected, nobody's going to call you and tell you the reason why you were rejected is because we didn't see what we want to see. They're just going to send you an automated email that says, we decided your qualifications don't match what we're looking for. We decided to go with someone else. There's all kinds of automated emails that we set up on the back end of applicant tracking systems that we can submit. So when we disposition you to one thing, that automatic email goes out. When we disposition you to another thing, that automatic email goes out. And no one ever calls you. They may never talk to you. It may be your dream job, the company that you want to work for. And they will never tell you the only reason we didn't pick you because we didn't know if you could do the job because we didn't see what we were looking for. And they don't tell you that. So that's not cool. Okay, so if you want a free review of your resume, you want to know if your resume attracts the attention of hiring managers and recruiters, email me. I'll do a free review. I'll tell you what's missing, what needs to be added, what it's fixed, and what is broken so you can fix it and get more interviews. Now, if you want me to do it, I could do it too. There'll be options in there for that, but email it to me. I'll review it for free. Okay? 100 people. That's all I can take. And right now, I can take another 80 people. Okay? 80 more resumes. All right. So what else is important about your resume? Somebody emailed me today, says, hey, I think having the city and state on my resume is holding me back. It's not. This is how your resume needs to be formatted. At the top, name, phone number, email address, city and state, or name, city and state, phone number, email address. You got to have that. Why do we want city and state? Because every company that you apply to, they may not be registered to do business in your state from an employment perspective. So if you live in Florida and you're trying to work for a company out of Wisconsin and you apply to a job in Wisconsin, but you want to work remotely in Florida, they have to be set up to pay employment taxes in Florida or they can't pay you, right? So having your city and state is important. Phone number, email address, so we can reach out to you. Then your captivating headline, what you do, how long you've done, how good you are doing it. Immediately following your captivating headline, there are 2 sections on your first page that every hiring manager wants to see. A summary of your qualifications, 10 bullets outlining your top 10 career accomplishments. Okay, that's what needs to happen. And right after that, you need to highlight your areas of expertise. 10 bullets that highlight your areas of expertise. Those things you do so well professionally that you can do them with your eyes closed and your hands tied behind your back. That's the first page of your resume. The second page and beyond is your work history, education, and certification. How long should the resume be? Best practice, 1 page for every 5 years of experience. If you think a 1-page resume is going to get you noticed, it is not. We think people who have only a 1-page resume, they have no experience. Okay, that's what we think. I'm just telling you how it is. Okay. Somebody asked me, do I help with nurse resumes? Yes. RNs, LPNs, director of nurses. Yes. Everybody. Doesn't matter what the skill set is. I've been a medical recruiter for years. IT, technical, medical, C-level executives, logistics, freight forwarding, logistics, warehousing, call center. I've recruited in almost every imaginable industry you can imagine. 35 years. Okay. So your resume is not just a historical document, and you should not be using it just as a document to show your skill, experience, education, and background in chronological order. I want you to think differently about your resume. Your resume is a marketing tool that you use to get your skill, experience, education, and background in front of as many hiring managers as possible. And the more people you can get your properly created resume, the more people you can get it in front of, the better it's going to be for you. Okay? You should be submitting your resume to tons of people every single day. I'm going to explain to you what that number is. So if you are submitting applications and attaching your resume, but you are not NOT getting interviews, your resume is broken, and you can keep on using that exact same resume. Nothing will change. Nothing will. Okay? If you want to know if it needs to be fixed, email it to me, Daniel@dscds.com. I'll tell you what's broken, what's missing, what needs to be added, and how to fix it. I'll review your resume for free. Okay? Just email it to me. I can take another, 52 resumes, 52 people. Just email me your resume. I'll look at it for free. All right? All right. So now let's talk about taking that resume, now that you have it crafted the way it's supposed to be crafted. Now you got to start looking for jobs. And the problem that people have with looking for jobs is they have no earthly idea how job boards work. So you're searching for jobs and you're thinking, oh my God, ain't no positions out there. And I'm saying to myself, you don't know what you're doing. There are thousands of jobs out there that you can apply for right now, but you just don't know how to find them. As a recruiter who posts positions online on job boards and manage job boards, I am going to tell you, we want you to apply to our jobs. The more people who apply, the more options we have to submit to the hiring manager, the faster we can get people hired, the better it is for us in our position. So we want you to apply. We don't want there to be any restrictions at all. Okay? But if you don't know how to find us, if you don't know how to search for jobs that match what you do, if no one's telling you and you don't know how to do it, you are going to think that there are no jobs available. That's what you're going to think. But I'm going to show you that it's thousands that you can apply to right now. Now, this is key to you getting a job paying more than you've ever made before in the next 30 days. This is a key piece. Okay, so now that your resume is fixed, let's talk about job searches. How do job boards work, and what do job boards want from you to maximize your return in terms of the number of jobs you can apply for fast? Right? I'm going to show you the average application that you do will take 21 seconds. A normal long form application, the full application, takes 40 minutes. I'm going to show you how to apply to jobs in 21 seconds on LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, and Indeed.com so you can apply to more jobs and get more phone calls back. All right? So, how do you use the job boards? Now, had a client 2 weeks ago. Daniel, help me, please. I've been out of work for 8 months. Senior sales account manager. Successful. Got caught up in a merger. Was reduced in force. Needs a job. 30 years experience. Can't find work. Right? So I'm talking to this guy and I said, okay, he does a coaching session. He calls me, pays for a coaching session. We're doing a coaching session. So I said to him, okay, so first thing I want you to do is we're going to go to LinkedIn. We were on a Zoom call. Show me what you're doing. Okay. And so he did. He typed in his job title. Everybody does the same thing. Types in his job title. And then I said, don't do anything else. Let's do an open search. Okay. You typed in your job title. Now just click search. This is every job with this job title on LinkedIn. And I think our results came back with 5,400 jobs, something like that, right? Now, this is every job on LinkedIn, whether it's open or closed, filled or not. That's where the results came back. Now, when we started filtering it by jobs that were posted within the last 30 days, I think we got down to less than 50 jobs. Okay, so 5,400 is what our open search came up with. And I said, okay, now I'm going to show you how I would normally do it. Okay, so I said, I want you to remove this word. I want you to remove that word. And I want you to only keep this word. He did that. I said, click search. Like 433,000 jobs came back. Same guy, right? Same job board. Instead of 5,400 jobs, 430,000 jobs came back. An open search. Okay. Now, he said, what did you do? I said, the problem you are having is your search is limited. You're searching for jobs based on your previous job title. I search for jobs and I coach people to search for jobs based on the single job function, because that's how recruiters want you to find us. Okay. I said, when you put in your job title, you are telling LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, and Indeed.com, you are telling it to only show you results with that job title. That's why you don't get no jobs back. I'm telling LinkedIn, when you send me back a search result, show me every job you have that has the word sales in either the job title or the body of the job posting. Okay? It's called a open broad search is what we call it. Okay? Now I'm going to prove this to you in just a second. All right? So we then started filtering it. He wanted to make 120 to 160,000. So we filtered it by that. We know he's not entry level. He's mid or senior level. So we did it by that. To make a long story short, it chopped it all the way down to a specific search for him. I think we got down to 35,000 jobs that were posted in the last 30 days that match exactly what he's looking for. Big difference from what he did. So it opened everything up for him. And then I said to him, now you are only going to easy apply, on LinkedIn. So I want you to apply to 10 jobs right now, right? It took him 2 minutes, 3 minutes to apply to 10 jobs. I said, okay, great. Now that we've done that, here's what you're going to do every day, 7 days a week. You're going to do this on every job board. You're going to apply to 30 jobs on LinkedIn, 30 jobs on ZipRecruiter, 30 jobs on Indeed, quick apply, easy apply, or one-click apply. You're going to apply to those jobs every day. 30 times 3 is 90. So that's 90 jobs a day times 7 days a week. You're going to apply to 630 jobs a week. But it's going to take you 30 minutes a day. That's it, 30 minutes. You're going to spend 30 minutes of your time marketing yourself to as many jobs as possible, getting yourself in front of as many hiring managers as possible. And then you're going to wait. True story. This is week 3. Last week was week 2. He had 4 interviews. Remember I told you he hadn't had an interview or had a job in 8 months. He had his first initial interviews 2 weeks ago. And this week, we had a fast track meeting on Monday. He has 2 final interviews this week and probably got an offer today. What's my point? The more jobs you make yourself available to, the more opportunity will come your way. His issue was he didn't know how to search for jobs. So it seemed like the supply of jobs was limited. And 8 months later, when you're about to lose everything, we meet, and now he's about to land a job making more than he's ever made before in his career. You got to make sure that you're searching properly. So I'm going to do this now. You search based on job function, not job title. So I want you to type into the chat whatever your job title is. And I'm going to tell you the single word function that you need to use when you search for jobs. You could do this right now, right? So while we're doing this, tap the screen. We're currently at 12,600 and we should be at 30,000 by now. Okay? Tap the screen. Tap, 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 tap the screen. It's 140 people in the room. If each one of us tap the screen 60 times, it takes about 15 seconds. We'll be at 25, 30,000. Just keep tapping the screen. Okay, so Joyce, marketing coordinator. You are just going to search marketing. You can filter it by everything else. Customer success manager. Okay, you're going to put customer, and then you're going to put the word and then in quotations, you're going to put manager. So customer and then in quotation, manager. I don't know what AMSA is. School psychologist. You're just going to put in the word psychologist. That's all you're going to put. You're not going to put anything else. And then you're going to sort by the other things. You'll see what to sort by. Okay. RN. You're going to put RN. I know you want non-bedside, but just put RN. That's your broad search. And then as those jobs start coming back, you'll see. Flight attendant. You can put flight attendant. That's perfectly fine. Regional director. I don't know what industry you're in, but I will put director and then whatever the industry is, that'll be fine. Director of human resources. For HR, human resources, you're just going to put human resources or HR. That's what you're going to put, right? Clinical data manager. Clinical and the word data. Clinical and the word data. Legal assistant. You're going to put legal and in quotations, assistant. Okay? That's what you're going to put. Teacher, you're going to put teacher. You can put instructor as well. Teacher. Operations manager. Operations, and then the word and then in quotations, put manager. Okay? That's how you're going to do it. Patient service representative. You're going to put patient and representative. Data analyst. You're just going to put analyst. That's all you're going to put. Claims associate. Claims. Sterile processing tech. You're going to put sterile and then in quotations, put tech. Financial analyst. You're going to put analyst and in quotations, put the word financial. Okay? That's how you search for it. And what you're doing is you're telling the job board, show me all of the jobs that are analyst and financial in nature. Every job that has financial analyst in it. Now, if you put the word financial analyst in it, right, or you put those words together, what ends up happening is it limits the search from the job board, which means it appears to you that there's not that many jobs open, but there are thousands, tens of thousands of jobs open right now. Okay. So that's how you search. Okay. And then once you search, I tell my clients this, you do not, once you create this search, you do not allow yourself to be slowed down by reading job descriptions. You don't read job descriptions. Job descriptions are a wish list, not a must-have list, not a you gotta have this. Like if it says bachelor's degree required, they're not requiring you to have a bachelor's degree. Why aren't they specific when they say the kind of bachelor's degree? Some jobs are, but most of them just say bachelor. Why do they do that? Because it's the fact that you have gone to school and started and finished something hard that they're interested in. It shows them something, right? But we will take experience over a degree most of the time, okay? So it's important that you understand that you don't read job descriptions. That's what I tell people. You just apply to every job, because remember, it's not like you're putting in an application. You are putting in an application, but I want you to think about it differently. You are marketing yourself to as many hiring managers who have said they have a job opening as possible. And the more you do better, the better. 630 jobs a week. Okay? 30 minutes a day. If you did that, you'll apply to 630 jobs a week. Get yourself in front of that many managers, which leads to 2 to 4 job interviews per week and 2 to 4 job offers starting week 3, week 4. I'm not telling you something I think works. I'm telling you something I know works. So try it, right? That's how it works. And that's how you get yourself in front of as many people as possible and how the job boards work. Now, you've applied to all of the jobs. Now you're starting to get these calls and it's time for you to interview. Okay? What is that all about? I'm going to tell you what the job interview is not about. Okay? It's not about you telling the hiring manager about all of your skill, experience, education, and background and all of the great work you've done for somebody else. It's not. We don't want to hear about your previous experience. You know why? Because we already know about it. We have your resume. We see it. We're looking right at it. Stop talking about your previous experience and expertise. That's not what we want to know when we say, tell me about yourself. Okay? That's not what we're asking. Tell me about yourself does not mean tell me about your previous experience. Sell me on how your previous experience makes you a match for this job. That's not what we're looking for. We already know you can do the job. The only reason why you got a hiring manager interview is because we've looked at your resume, we reviewed your qualifications, and we have compared it to the job description and the work we want someone to do, and we believe without a doubt that you can do the work we want. So we know about you, okay? But what we don't know is we don't know you. So I tell people all the time that it's your professional character that hiring managers, they're trying to discover. Okay? Imagine this. I come to your town and say to you, oh my goodness, I have an emergency. Can I borrow your car? You're probably going to say to me, no. I'll take you where you want to go, but you can't take my car. Why? Because you don't know me. You don't know if I'm going to wreck your car, if I'm going to drive your car and care for your car in the way that you care for your car. Well, hiring managers are the same way. They have this duty and responsibilities that have been given to them by their manager, and they're trying to give you a part of the job. They don't know if you're going to do a good job. They know what you've done in the past, but they don't know if you're going to do the kind of job they want someone to do. So that's what the job interview is about. Remember, if you need a free review of your resume, email me now. I can take another 41 resumes. 41. That's it. So if you want me to tell you if something is missing from your resume, if you need to add something to your resume, something needs to be changed, the reason why you're not getting interviews, I'll tell you. Email me, daniel@dscds.com. daniel@dscds.com. Now, I'm going to tell you how to answer the top 6 to 8 interview questions every hiring manager will ask you, starting with, tell me about yourself. If you get that answer wrong, the whole interview goes downhill. I'm going to tell you and demonstrate to you how you answer that question. So when we say tell me about yourself, we're not saying tell me about your professional career. Give me the highlights of your career. Remember, we already have your resume, so I already know you can do the job. That matter is settled. Keep tapping the screen. I see you tapping the screen with 19,000 likes. Let's get to 30,000. If every single one of us tap the screen 30 times, we'll be at 30,000. Just tap the screen. Tap, 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 tap. All right. So here's the deal. Hiring managers all ask the same interview questions. They all do. Now you can say they're asking you something, they're not asking you something different. They're all asking the same question. You go to a job interview, you sit down. The first question they're going to ask you is, tell me about yourself. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. Well, tell me about yourself. That's what they ask, right? And here's what most people will do. Well, this is who I am. This is what I've done. This is where I work. This is what I've accomplished. This is where I went to school. And the hiring manager is saying, please stop. That's not what I ask you. Okay? Well, what are they asking? Remember, we know about you, but we don't know you. So what they're trying to do is find out about you, your professional character. What 3 things don't they know about you? Are you dependable? Are you reliable? And are you trustworthy? We don't know that, okay? I don't know if I can hand you the keys to this job and you're going to do it in the way I want it done, in a satisfactory manner. I don't know if I hand this responsibility to you if you're not going to embarrass me, right? I don't know that. So when they ask you questions, they're trying to find out if you are the kind of person they can trust, they can depend on, they can rely on. So although I have 35 years worth of experience, I never talk about all of the things that I've done in my professional career for 2 reasons. One, it's too overwhelming for most people, all of the things that I've done. Number 2, it's not what they're trying to find out about me. They want to know if they can trust me, if I'm the kind of guy that's going to come in and tear the whole place apart. They don't know that, right? So what questions are they going to ask you? Keep tapping the screen. We're at 22,500. I want us to get us 30,000. Here's the first question. Tell me about yourself. This is how you answer it. Write this in the chat. Trust me, it's going to be, you'll never forget this. You're going to pick your 4 top character traits. Hardworking, you're committed, you're loyal, you're honest, you're dedicated, you're a total team player. Whatever those 4 character traits are. And I want you to type them in the chat. What are your 4 top character traits? Okay. So Gino says, I'm dependable, reliable, trustworthy, and I take full accountability for myself and my team. I want 4 character traits. Type it in the chat. 4 character traits. Hardworking, committed team player is what Sham says. What are your 4 character traits? Type it in the chat. And then you're going to add to that, and I am someone you will never have to worry about whether the job is going to get done or not. George says, I'm a fast learner, team player, I'm innovative and adaptable. Now, a fast learner and being innovative are not character traits. That's okay. We'll use that though. Jenny says, I'm a team-oriented, accountable, honest, loyal professional. And then you add, and I am someone you will never have to worry about whether the job gets done or not. Okay. George says, I am a fast learner who is a team player. I'm very innovative and I'm adaptable, and I'm someone you will never have to worry about whether the job is going to get done or not. Chantel says, I'm discerning, I'm proactive, I'm protective of the underserved, and I'm reserved, and I am someone you will never ever have to worry about whether the job is going to get done or not. MW says, I'm an honest, dependable, fast learning team player, and I'm a professional you will never ever have to worry about whether the job gets done or not. That's how you answer the question, tell me about yourself, when a hiring manager asks. You don't answer it any other way. The next question they're going to ask you is, are you currently working? We're going to see that. If you're working, why are you looking to leave your current job? If you're not working, why did you leave your last job? Why do we ask that question? Because we want to see if you are a quitter. If I give you a job, are you going to quit this job, or are you going to leave this job in the same way, or want to leave this job in the same way you left or are leaving your last job? So I'm going to give you the answers that you should give. So if you're not currently working and someone asks you, why did you leave your last job? There's only one answer you should always give, which is, I was laid off. Now, we know in HR and talent acquisition, laid off has many different meanings. It could mean reduction in force, merger acquisition, terminated. Could mean a lot of different things, right? We don't challenge it. You were laid off, okay? The other question is, why do you want to leave your current job? Why? We're trying to see if your reason is immature and petty, right? Because if you leave because you didn't like your manager, you're probably going to leave us for the same reason. So the only way I tell people to answer is, I no longer want to work at, they're a great company, but I don't want to work there anymore because my goals and values, they no longer align with that company. I believe they align more with this one, and I value team success far above individual success. That's how you answer that question. Then they're going to ask you one of two questions after that are kind of the same. What do you know about us? Or why do you want to work here? Okay, we're trying to find out if you've done research, if you understand us, right? Because you want to be in a relationship with us, if you will. If they ask you, what do you know about us? It's real simple. Before you go to an interview, you always make sure you search the internet, that company's website, for their vision, mission, core values, the day they started, their founding date, the type of product they offer, and the customers they serve. And all you do is regurgitate that. Repeat that, okay? They say to you, I see you worked over here. Why do you want to work for us? You answer it this way 100% of the time. It's because you guys are the best and I want to work for the best. That's how you answer it, okay? That's 3 non-behavior-based questions you are going to get. Now we're going to go over to behavior-based questions using the STAR interview answer framework. And I'm going to tell you a way to use the STAR interview answer framework you have never heard ever except for here, okay? STAR stands for, somebody type it in the chat, situation, task, action, result. I can take 33 more resumes. If you need a free resume review, email it to me. I will look at your resume and tell you what's missing, what needs to be added, what needs to be fixed, so you can start submitting your resume and getting job interviews. Just email it to me. It's free resume review. Daniel@dscds.com. It's right here. Daniel@dscds.com. Email me a copy of your resume. 4 more of you just sent me a resume. I can take 34 more resumes, 33, 32 more resumes. Okay? So, non-behavior-based questions. STAR, situation, task, action, result. Situation, task, action, result. Situation, task, action, result. Behavior-based questions are designed to see how you would handle various situations. There are 3 questions they're going to ask you that are behavior-based, centered around people, problems, and processes. So they're going to say, tell me about a time you had to deal with a difficult person. That could be a customer, a client, a coworker, whatever. Tell me about a time you had to deal with a difficult coworker. What was the situation and how did you resolve it? Now listen to me. This is how you answer STAR-based interview questions. This is how I train it. I tell people, because there's so many people get tripped up trying to figure out what example they're going to use. You're going to use the STAR interview answer framework, and you're going to call out each acronym before you give a response, right? So you're going to say, this is the situation. I had a coworker who was working with me on a project, and they were not being cooperative. My task was to try to understand what the issues were and why she was not being cooperative. My action was we had to go have a conversation with our manager. And after we had a conversation with our manager, the result was this colleague fell in line and we were able to deliver the project on time. That's how you answer STAR questions. You have to call out each acronym before you say, because if you don't, you're going to be trying to think about all of the details of that particular thing they're asking you about. And you're going to go down a rabbit hole. And the more you talk, the less they like you. It's important for you to know that. So they're going to ask you behavior-based questions centered around people, problems, and challenging processes. And you use the STAR interview answer framework to answer that way. Now, if you're a manager or a leader, you're going to get about 2 more questions, okay? Question number 1 as a leader is going to be, okay, great. What is your leadership style? Don't get fancy, right? Don't go to some leadership style survey that you took. Just give a simple, plain answer. Mine is always, I don't know if this is a style, but I'm all about accountability. I hold myself accountable, and I hold myself to a high standard, and I hold my team accountable and to a high standard. So my leadership style would be accountability. That's how I answer it 100% of the time. And you do the same. Then they're going to ask you this question. Listen to me very closely. If you're a manager, a supervisor, a leader, director, C-level executive, this is what they're going to ask you. All right, you got a person on your team that's been consistently underperforming over time. How are you going to handle it? Right? Now, the tendency is for you to think about when you've helped someone in the past. Okay? You don't want to do that. Don't do that. Okay, here's what you need to do. You need to give one answer. And that is, if I have someone who is consistently underperforming on my team, I am going to follow the progressive disciplinary policy of the company to get it corrected. Verbal coaching and counseling is the first step. Then it's going to be a written, third and final termination. Every hiring manager and every HR person wants you to follow the progressive disciplinary policy of the company. Because, and by the way, it's different a lot of times for most companies. That's why you don't want to get fancy. All right? So don't get fancy. So now that you have the interview questions and you know how to interview and you know what the interview is not all about and you now know what the interview is actually about, now it's time for you to get an offer. How do you get more money from every offer? I don't care if it's the most money you've ever made in your career. You got an offer. It's been emailed to you. Okay? What do? 1, you are not going to do anything with that written offer for 24 hours. You're going to sit on it. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you, 1, how we determine pay in an organization. Number 2, how I get 100% of the people that I work with, almost 100% of the people that I work that I submit and do offers for, how I get them $2,000 to $10,000 more from every single hiring manager. And the hiring manager is going to say yes. And you can do the same thing. You just send one email. The way we determine pay in organizations is one of two ways. Either the position is complex, like a brain surgeon, right? Or it's volume. Okay, so those are the only two ways that we determine pay. If it's a complex position or a high volume position, that's how we determine what a person is going to make, right? A good example would be a brain surgeon makes about $500,000 a year, but a person who collects your trash weekly, right? They make about $40,000 a year. Both jobs are essential, but one is a lot more complex than the other. Okay, and that's why the pay is different. And when we're thinking about pay in organizations, we think about those two things very deeply. All right. So now that you know how pay is determined, the pay comes back, you get an offer, it's written. This is what I do for every candidate that I'm presenting offers for. Hiring manager comes to me, Dan, I want to offer this person a position. I say, great, I'll call them, make sure they're interested. So I'll call you and I'll say, hey, Judy, Scott, Bill, Barry, hey, how was the interview? You say it was great, awesome. Is this something you're interested in doing? Yes. And I'll say, great. Mark, if we made you an offer right now, are you ready to accept? You'll say yes. And then I'll say this. Now, Mark, when you and I talked initially, you told me you would take 95. Is that correct? You say yes. And then I say, okay, I'm going to tell the hiring manager you want 98. Is that okay? And you say to me, absolutely, that's okay. Of course you're going to say yes. So I then go to the hiring manager and say, hey, I spoke to Bartholomew about the offer. He's very excited to get started with the team. He was asking if we can go to 98. Is that possible? Now, the hiring manager, if they can make the decision right on the spot, they would say, absolutely, we can do that. A lot of times they'll have to go to their manager, director, VP. Hey, I spoke to this person, right? Cassius. He's interested in the job, and he was asking if we can go to 98. That director or manager will then say, well, do you think he's worth it? And that hiring manager is going to say, yes, I think he's worth it. And then they come back to me and say, yeah, we could do 98. I come back to you. I say, okay, I talked to the hiring manager. They can do 98. If I sent you the offer right now, will you sign it and send it back to me? And you say, yes. I send it to you. You sign it and send it back to me. So why did they say yes without hesitation? Why? Here's why. When the hiring manager interviews you and they want to make you an offer, they have become emotionally and mentally invested in you. They're like, oh my goodness, I have found my person and this job is going to start getting done. They're happy. They don't want to lose you. Okay? So you could do the exact same thing. Now, after I tell you this email, I'm going to open it up for questions and answers. You can ask me any question that you want and I will answer it. Okay? You need to send one email. So offer comes to you. You're going to sit on that offer for 24 hours. 24 hours later, you're going to send an email response. It's going to say this. I'll say it 3 times. You're going to say, thank you very much for this offer. I am very excited about getting started with the team. I was wondering if the company is able to go to whatever that new number is. Thank you very much. I can't wait to get started. Okay, so again, thank you very much for this offer. I am very excited about getting started with the team. I was wondering if the company is able to go to new number. Thank you very much. I can't wait to get started. That's how you have to, that's the email, word for word. Don't change it. Don't say, I want to know if I can get, I'm worth more. You don't never say that. Okay. You want to leave it wide open. Thank you for this offer. I'm very excited about getting started with the team. You're telling them you're ready to accept this offer. I was wondering if the company is able to go to is a softer way of saying, I want more money, right? For whatever reason. I was wondering if the company is able to go to whatever that new number is. And then you thank them and tell them, reiterate, I can't wait to get started. You are assuming that they're going to say yes. Now, sometimes they'll come back and say, we can't do 98, but we can do 96. We can't do 98, we can do 97, whatever that number looks like, right? But they'll do it. How do I know this? This is what I do every day. I do it for every candidate. And the reason why I do it is because if I can get you hired, it makes KPIs for recruiting look a lot better as well. So I'm trying to help the hiring manager by getting them someone that's less than what the max is. I'm trying to help you by getting you more money than you expected, and which in turn helps talent acquisition and recruiting. I've been doing it for 22 years. Same exact thing. I'm the person that handles the offers in the companies I work for. Okay? Now, when you send that email, that email comes back to me because I'm the one that sent it out to you. Then I go to the hiring manager, I represent it, and I come back and we get it done. Okay, so what do we talk about today? We talked about resumes, what they are not about and what they are actually about, what hiring managers want to see. We talked about that, okay? They want to see your captivating headline, what you do, how good you've done it, how long you've done it, and how good you are at doing it. Then we talked about how to find like tens of thousands of jobs. You've been searching for jobs wrong, okay? Don't search for jobs by your previous job title. You search for jobs by your main job function, the work you do. Recruiter for me, whatever that is for you, okay? Then we talked about job interviewing, the 6 to 8 questions every single hiring manager on the planet asks. They all ask the same question. They've been asked the same question for 35 years. Okay? No adjustments, no changes, no differences. Same question. I'm telling you, 35 years. And then we talked about how you can get $2,000 to $10,000 more from every single job you get. Every job offer. Okay? Nothing happens in your life unless you take action. Now, you sat here with me for the past 67 minutes, and we've talked about this, and I told you exactly what to do. Nothing's going to change unless you take action. Nothing. It's going to stay the same. You're going to still be frustrated if you don't do anything. So you got to take action. If you need a free review of your resume, it looks like I can take 23 more resumes, 23 people. If you want a free review of your resume, email it to me now. It's simple. Just email it to me, and I'll be more than happy to send. I'll reply to your resume and tell you what I see, what you need to add, what you need to take away, all those things. Okay. So right now we're at 40,000 likes. I want to end with at least 50,000. Tap the screen and ask me any question that you want, and I'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you. Okay. Nature Girl says you sent your email yesterday. You were probably outside of the 100, so I still have it in my inbox, and I will respond today. Okay. If you have a question, leave it in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer that question for you. But when it comes to sterile technician, they always ask for 2 years of experience. Okay. The only way to get 2 years of experience is for somebody to give you the opportunity to work. Search based on the job function. That's correct. Okay. How do you explain what led to gaps in your employment? I'm going to give you a simple way. If you have gaps in your employment for up to 12 months, you haven't worked in a year. Somebody says, why haven't you worked in a year? This is how you answer it 100% of the time. You say, I haven't worked in the past 12 months because I have been looking for the right team to join, and I haven't been able to find that until now. That's how you make gaps disappear. Okay? We can make gaps in employment disappear on resumes too, because it's the function of the work that matters. Remember that first page? It has your captivating headline, summary of accomplishments and areas of expertise. That is 80% of the resume and what hiring managers care about most. They just want to make sure that your gap in the employment wasn't for some reason that maybe you can't continue to work. Right? That's it. So gaps in employment are not that big of an issue. Queen says, oh my God, Daniel, I need your help. Email me. Tell me what you need. Let's have a conversation. I'll be more than happy. You can DM me too. DM me here. I'll tell you exactly what I can do to help you. Okay? Awesome. Thank you for your generosity, Daniel. You're very welcome. I appreciate you. All right. It's not that easy. It is, Pablo, it is that easy. The reason why, here's something that you guys may notice about me. I don't argue with people on the internet about what is or what is not. Pablo, I don't know how long you've been doing this. I've been doing it for 35 years. I don't argue with people. I know what works. I can put 100 clients in front of you right now that will tell you the same thing that I'm sharing right now. It has worked for them. So I don't argue with people. Okay. If this is not for you, that's cool. Just keep doing your thing. I hope it works for you. Okay. Let me see here. All right. I appreciate you guys. All right. I sent an email. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I have problems with the ATS. I don't understand how to adapt a resume. Okay, so check it out. Listen to me. I manage the applicant tracking system. What is the purpose of an applicant tracking system? And how do we want your resume and information to come into that tracking system? We need to work backwards, okay? You are going to have when you get hired with the company, you're going to have an employment record. There is some information that we need for employment purposes. That information is housed in what we call an HRIS system, a human resources information system. It's where we do all of our onboarding, okay? So it has all of your information, all of your W-4, I-9, payroll information is contained in the HRIS system. Before you get in the HRIS system, you go through the applicant tracking system. The applicant tracking system is where you apply. There's one or two ways that companies ask you to apply. We can ask you to apply with very little information, name, phone number, email address. I call it your name, rank, and social security number. That's kind of what I ask. It's your minimum information. Name, phone number, email address, city, state, and then you upload your resume. That's one way to apply. The other way to apply is to have a resume that you can upload that easily translates into the applicant tracking system and auto-populates the areas that we need it to auto-populate, okay? Once we get that information in the system and we do an interview with you and we click hired in the applicant tracking system, it moves everything over to the HRIS system so we can begin the completion of your application and the onboarding process, okay? Why did I tell you all that? The more complex your resume is, the less compatible it will be with a applicant tracking system. Simple formatting is best. We're dealing with technology here. Simple formatting is best so your resume populates properly. If it doesn't populate properly and we don't see what we want to see, it is going to be we're going to feel like it's a waste of our time and no one's going to call you. All right. So please, I'm a single mother. Would love to help you. Send me an email or a DM. I'm new here. What I've heard so far is really insightful. I sent you my resume. Thank you. MW says, thank you for sharing your information. I really appreciate it. You're welcome. Discussing salary negotiation. Let me see what that says here. Discussing salary negotiation and resume tips. Okay, no, that was the AI. Let me see. Did not disclose salary, but as far as specific required salary, can you still ask for an increase? So, couple things when it comes to salary. First of all, don't get fooled. Don't get tripped up. Don't get kicked in your rear end. Never, ever, and I mean never, ever go to a job interview and you do not know what the salary range is. Why? Because the information is available to you. You can take your phone, right? And you can type into ChatGPT or Google, what is the pay range for this position at this company, whatever the company name is and whatever the position is. ChatGPT and Google will send that range back to you. You should be walking into every interview with that information. So when you get the offer, you have something to compare it to. If they're giving you the low end, middle end, or high end, and even if they're giving you the max, you still reply with that same email. That's how you do it, okay? All right, when they ask, what do you say? Melissa, I don't understand what you're asking me. When they ask, what do you say about what? How often do you go live? Every day. I do this every single day because I want to be a blessing to as many people as possible. Email me a copy of your resume. I want to make sure I'm reviewing resumes as well every single day. I'm going to go live every day, sometimes twice a day, 365 days a year, because somebody needs to tell you, right? Or you're not, I mean, listen, I've been working in talent acquisition and recruiting for a year. A lot of people, for years, 35 years. A lot of people think it's secretive. People don't tell you. And the reason why they don't tell you is because they want to seem like they have an advantage over you. The truth is, we need you. I'm the one that put out the help wanted ad. Why am I making it so hard for you to get hired? I'm the one that said, I need help. I'm posting this job. I need help. Please apply to my job. I need help. Why are we making it so hard? It's a control issue. I want to make it easy for you, because the truth is, I know who has the real control. You do. We have the problem. We need you to fix it. It's the person who can fix the problem that is the solution, right? They have the advantage. What's the future of recruiting? Seems like there's so many fewer positions lately. Again, TT, I just talked about how to find thousands, tens of thousands of jobs right now in any career field. The future of recruiting is bright. I've been doing it for 35 years. What is recruiting about? It's about finding, screening, evaluating candidates who match what hiring managers and companies want. I've been doing it since the early 90s. I started when we were writing newspaper ads. I used to write ads in the newspaper every Sunday and Wednesday to attract candidates. I work with staffing agencies, owned a staffing agency. The future is bright. Here's why. Hiring managers have no idea about how to find you. HR professionals who are not talent acquisition pros, they have no idea how to find you. None. And people are like, well, what if we use AI? If you don't type the right information in the prompt, they won't find you. Recruiting is fine. Trust me. How about jobs? How about the job applying for goes pay scale? Can you still try for higher pay? Yes, I don't care what the job, if it says to you that the position is paying 150 to 200,000 and they offer you 200,000, you still send that email that I said. Okay? It's always more money. Sending you an email, is it true that Canva resumes are not good for applicant tracking systems? All of the, more simple a format, the better. Pictures, colors, multiple text boxes. They don't parse into applicant tracking systems well, so try to stay away from that. Okay, that's Lena. All right. If you have a question, ask it in the chat. I'll be more than happy to answer it. How do you ask for more if they offer the ranges on the low end? First of all, you got to know how to determine your pay, okay? Remember, 0 to 4 years is entry level. So if the job pays let's say 70,000 to 100,000, that's a $30,000 range. If you have 0 to 4 years experience, you should be earning 70 to 79. If you have 5 to 9 years experience, you should be earning 80 to 89. And if you are a senior a person who has 10 or more years experience, you should be offered 90 to 100,000. If you are a person with 10 years experience and they offer you $70,000 a year, that is disrespectful. That's why when I am interviewing candidates, I am looking specifically at the number of years experience they have. And when I submit their information to the hiring manager, I don't care what you say. You could say to me, I know the position pays 70 to 100. I have 15 years experience. I'll take 75. I would say to you, I'm not submitting you at 75. I'm going to submit you at 92. Okay? It's disrespectful. Now, what other problem does it cause? It's a pay equity issue in the organization. If you have 15 years experience and you're making $70,000 a year, and someone else in the organization is doing the same job and they have 8 years experience and they're making $90,000 a year, we've just created an issue in the organization. We don't want that. So don't let people lowball you. Always know before you go. I have a guide that says what you should know before you go. This is one of the things you should know. Interview nerves, and I end up coming across as confident, even though I'm a confident person in the job. You're only nervous because you don't know what questions they're going to ask. I just told you all of them they're going to ask. And if you listen to that, then you'll be fine. I promise you that. Okay? Thank you guys so much for joining today. I appreciate it. Remember, I could take 15 more resumes. If you want a free resume review, I'll tell you what is missing, what needs to be added, what needs to be changed. You can take care of that. If you want me to do it, I'll be more than happy to do that for you as well. Have I ever hired a customer service manager? Missy Gott. I used to be the talent acquisition director for one of the largest customer service call center companies in the country, in the US. We hired 6,000 agents a year, 5 years in a row. The company had been around for 36 years and had never been 100% staffed. It took me 9 months to do it. So yes, customer service managers, customer service directors, VPs, call center managers, call center VPs, all day, every day, right? So yes, or customer success manager, same thing, essentially not customer service, customer success manager, but it's the same kind of a thing, not the same thing, but yes, customer success manager as well. How soon will I get the results? If you're one of the 100 people who send me your resume today, you will hear back from me today about your resume. So I can only take 13 more, 12 more. Rebecca just sent me hers. I have Rebecca, Chantel, KDG Grundy, Michael, Kimberly McGee, Dolores. Send me your resume and I'll do a free resume review. I'll tell you what's missing, what needs to be added, what needs to be changed so you can get more job interviews. Okay? Chantel, I have yours. I see it right here. So make sure you are following what it is I shared. If you're not following me, you want more information like this, you can follow me. I'll be doing a live again tomorrow. So stay tuned to my channel. If you want to DM me with a question, you can DM me as well. Email me a copy of your resume and I'll do a free resume review. I can take 11 more people today and I'll be more than happy to take care of that for you. Can you tell me how to look for sales jobs on Indeed? Yes. Listen to me. I have several salespeople on my Fast Track program. So this is what you're going to do. Step one. First of all, you shouldn't just be looking on Indeed. You should be looking on ZipRecruiter, Indeed.com, and LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the largest on the planet. Okay. So what you're going to do, whatever your level of experience is, you're going to go to LinkedIn or Indeed or ZipRecruiter, and you're going to type into the search bar where it says what kind of job you're looking for. It asks you for skill, job title, blah, 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 right? You're going to type in sales. That's what you're going to type in. Sales. That's it. Okay? And then you're going to go over to the rest of the filters. Okay? Whatever that level is, manager, individual contributor, director, you're going to filter by that. You're going to leave it open for hybrid, local, or work from home sales jobs. Okay? And then you're going to click search. Okay? You're going to see how many jobs come back. Once those jobs come back, then you're going to go over to easy apply, one click apply, or quick apply, whichever job board that you're on. And you're going to click that. And then you're going to sort it by jobs that have been posted within the last 30 days. And then all you're going to do is you're going to click apply, click apply, click apply. 30 to 50 a day, every day, 7 days a week. 30 jobs will take you 10 minutes on each job board. So if you do ZipRecruiter, Indeed.com, and LinkedIn, it'll take you 30 minutes to apply to, market, and introduce yourself to 90 hiring managers and recruiters in 30 minutes a day. 30 a day per job board. Okay? That's what you should be doing every day. What ends up happening is you'll do that for a whole week. And starting in week 2, you'll start to get people who call you back. I can take 10 more resumes, 10 more people, send me an email. I could take 9 more. Kanisha, yours just came in. Maria's yours came in. Send me an email. I'll review your resume for free. I'll tell you what's missing, what needs to be changed, what needs to be added. Okay? I'll tell you today. All right? So what's going to happen is you're going to send your information out to all of those managers, and they're going to start calling you back. Week 1, you're going to apply. Week 2, you're going to start getting interviews, and you're going to continue to apply. Week 3, you're going to have second interviews, and you're going to continue to apply. Week 4, you're going to have job offers, and then you're going to keep applying. So by the end of week 4, you should have 2 to 4 job offers that you can pick from. That's how you do it. If you want me to coach you through that, I do have a fast track program. Go to my website, dscds.com, and see what that looks like. I'll be happy to help you. Okay? Let me see here. I appreciate you. Blessing, okay? All right. Should we not customize our resume for each job? No, 100 times no. Do not do that. Why? Because every job has at its core a main function. Okay? I'm in talent acquisition recruiting. Part of my work is marketing, right? So I can actually go work and do a marketing job, right? It's the function of the work that differentiates one person from the other. It's not the job title. So one resume should be a comprehensive document that shows how good you are from a comprehensive perspective. Don't tailor your resume to each job. Trust me. When you take stuff off of your resume, when you start tailoring it to jobs, people see you as less valuable, not more valuable. Okay? So it's important. What's the difference from a recruiter and talent acquisition? It's just a position title. Recruiters and talent acquisition are the same. Okay? It's just companies call them differently, which is why I tell people you don't search for job titles, you search for job function. The function of a recruiter is recruiting. The function of talent acquisition is recruiting. It's the same. I've been a recruiting manager, talent acquisition manager, VP of talent acquisition, VP of recruiting, COO of a recruiting operation, right? It's all the same, which is why you never search by a job title, because companies call it all kind of things and you don't want to get caught up in that. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, okay? I can take 6 more resumes. If you want a free review of your resume, email it to me now. I'll be more than happy to review it and tell you what is missing, what needs to be changed, what needs to be fixed, okay? What time do you go live each day? It just depends. Sometimes I'll go live at 10 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I'll go at 1 or 2 in the afternoon, and sometimes I'll go at 5 in the afternoon. It just depends, okay? My schedule, when I'm working with a lot of clients and I have a staff that I manage as well, I try to go live every day. I'm going to share this information until you guys get so tired of it that you all get high-paying jobs and your whole lives change, okay? If you need a free resume review, email it to me now. Daniel@dscds.com. Daniel@dscds.com. If you want to know each day when I am going to go live, simply follow me and you'll see when I'm live, and then you can check it out, okay? I'll take one more question. We will never get tired of you. Luna, thank you so much for saying that. What time will you be on tomorrow? Let me think about that real quick. So I'm probably going to be on tomorrow, which is Saturday, around 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. I can take 3 more resumes. Saibon, I just got your resume. I'll probably be on around about 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. I just got Elacia's resume, so I can take 2 more resumes. 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. I'll probably do the same thing on Sunday. Tony just sent his resume too. Thank you guys so much. I can take 1 more resume, just 1 more, okay? If you send me your resume today, if you're part of that 100, you send it today. I'll open up for another 15. If you send it today, I will respond to you today. Right? Maybe later tonight, but today. Okay? Rosetta Towns just sent hers. I'll open it up for another 15. People who want to send me their resume, Daniel at dscds.com. If I'm off the live and you go to my profile, you'll see my email address, Daniel at dscds.com. Thank you guys so much for joining, and